From Drendel Ballroom in Prairie Lodge, this is part 2 of the Sun City Report, a 4-part program to keep you up to date on what's happening in Sun City, Huntley. Your host is your fellow Sun City resident, WGN's Orion Samuelson.
Thank you for joining us on our second edition of the Sun City Report. And I'm honored to have with me today the village president of the village of Huntley, Chuck Sass, and the village manager, Dave Johnson. I look forward to the opportunity to talk to you. Challenging times, Chuck?
Everything's in good hands there, Orion. So I got a good village staff with Dave Johnson and everybody. And yeah, it is a challenge, especially in these economic climate that we're in and stuff. But we're not getting any new homes permits, but we're moving along with commercial development. So that's exciting.
Were new home building permits an important part of the city budget? Did it bring in?
Over the past 10 years, it had been. It was that's basically what we were living on and stuff. But we were very frugal. The late Carl Tommaso, he still had his communion money. I used to kid him and stuff, and we put away, the reserves, and we were able to build the new village hall basically with excess revenues over building permits. So we were the fastest growing, fifth fastest was Dave? Fifth fastest growing community in Illinois. I'm not sure if I'm proud of that going on my headstone or whatever, but I think we managed it good, and now we're excited about with the commercial coming in. Not so much reliant on residential. So.
You mentioned Carl Tommaso, and I have to take just a moment to say thank you for the tribute of naming the park after Carl Tommaso. Nice gesture.
You won't find a better man, so,
No, definitely not. No. Now, I noticed in here one of the lines that said, the village's commitment is to do more with less and to continue providing a high level of service. How do you do more with less in this economic time?
Well, I gave Dave that directive, so I'm going to let him answer how he's going to do it, okay? So.
Well, and the mayor hit on it is, I'm proud to work with an outstanding staff. I think if you look at our per capita cost of providing services to our residents, we are 25% lower than our next closest neighbor, and I think very highly, and I think many of our residents do, of the services that we provide. And again, our per capita number of employees is down toward the bottom in terms of looking at comparable communities, and our expectations are high, and we maintain over 150 miles of street in the village, enough to go from Huntley to Bloomington, Illinois. So we've taken a look at our operating budget per the village board's direction. We in the operating side made about a $500,000 in adjustments this fiscal year and reduced spending by that much. And overall, we cut the budget 20% from 2008 to 2009, and so far we feel that we haven't seen any decrease in service levels, and our and ultimately our property tax, the village's portion of the property tax continues to decrease. We have now seen about a 45% decrease over the course of the last 10 years.
Will that decline stop because of the home building permit loss and that sort of thing?
I think we'll start to see our property tax rate level off. We're at about 37 cents per $100 of assessed valuation, and again, based on our analysis of various municipalities, that's one of the lowest in the area.
Chuck is president of the village. I moved out here 5 years ago, and part of the attraction for me is, having grown up on a farm, I got back to farming country. Are we going to be able to maintain this mix of the agricultural rural community and the growth of the village?
I certainly hope so. I've been in town for 38 years, and I never envisioned it what it is today. And we still got some of the old farm boys around, and some of their kids, they're in high school, they're going into farming. So I'm hoping it does stay. The attraction for selling the land probably isn't as great as it was years ago, just because how it's become devalued and everything. So we're anticipating still keeping it a little, I still call it a little farm community and everything, and we strive, we work towards that, we really do. It's funny though, that all these new people that move in and stuff, they go, oh, we don't want any more growth, you know. Well, we didn't want, maybe, you know, we accepted you, I'm not going to call myself a homer and that type of thing, but it is really funny. And so we accept you with open arms, and once you start growing, you got to grow. But I think we've done a good job on how we've approached it, and I'm confident in the future we'll continue to do a good job. So I thought maybe you moved out here because I was mayor, but
that was part of it.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, that was
okay.
that was the second reason. But you know, you bring up an interesting point, because I get this all the time as an agricultural broadcaster. Gee, I moved from Chicago out to McHenry County 20 years ago because I wanted open space, and now all these other people are moving out here.
Exactly.
Well, they're doing what the first person wanted to do, and you know, one of the areas that I see a major problem is water. How is the water supply for the village, and is it in pretty good shape?
It is. Our water supply, we just brought our fifth deep well online earlier this year, and we are right at where we should be in terms of our production, and are very proactive in ensuring that you know, our needs are met, and we feel good right now based on our population, and our you know, certainly our long-range plan is to move forward with 2 new wells that we will actually build with the option to get water from 2 different aquifers, and that will cost us a little bit more. But to your point, Orion, we want to make sure that we're prepared for the future.
We'll still have the sprinkling regulations for lawns in the summertime.
Yes.
Right.
What about the quality? Since we have seen a village in the Chicagoland area go through a quality problem, what about the quality of water?
You know, the quality of our water is excellent. We meet or exceed the Environmental Protection Agency standards. We send out a water quality report. One of our trustees, a Sun City resident, Trustee Kadakia, is a former Illinois Environmental Protection Agency employee in the water division, and he rightfully so, spent a lot of time really going through our reports and asking questions as well. So, you know, we are very comfortable with the quality of our water.
Chuck, prices never go the same way forever. There's always a correction and a turnaround. What happens to the village when the economy turns around? What directions will we be heading when we once again see the demand for homes and everything else grow?
Well, I don't think we're ever going to see what we experienced the last 10, 12 years and stuff. Right now, we presently got the Talamore subdivision that is approved for 2,000 homes. They've only built a couple hundred. So, you stop and look what we've done. I think we've done a great job. We've planned. We've had the developers pay for improvements on the infrastructure, be it on roads, water and sewer and stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to it picking up a little bit, but in the same token, it's never going to go back to where it was, and we can direct our energies more in other avenues and stuff too. So, but Dave, you got anything you want to?
And one of the we're starting on a downtown revitalization planning process. Some of those areas where we weren't able to focus when the residential development was going as fast as it was. So we've had the opportunity with the village board and staff to take a step back and take a look at some of the areas that we wanted to focus on, but we couldn't.
Very good. There's a lot more to talk about. I see dirt moving and I see things happening on roadways. So don't go away, because we want to continue our conversation with the president of the village of Huntley, Chuck Sass, and Dave Johnson, the village manager of Huntley. And we'll be back in just a moment.
This has been part 2 of a 4-part series of Sun City Reports here on the Sun City web portal. Your host is WGN's Orion Samuelson.